Hey guys, this is Matt Miller with American Wire, and today we're looking at the testimony of Chloe Cole, who is formerly transgender and decided to actually undo her transition. This is her chance to explain to Congress, and specifically the Democrats who are on board with transitioning children, exactly how this damaged her and exactly why this should not be supported and not be allowed for minors to transition. This is an extremely powerful moment, and she got to get face to face with Democrats who openly support this and explain to them what they're really doing, the true gravity of what they support. Check it out right here.
My name is Chloe Cole, and I am a detransitioner. Another way to put that would be, I used to believe that I was born in the wrong body, and the adults in my life whom I trusted affirmed my belief, and this caused me lifelong, irreversible harm. I speak to you today as a victim of one of the biggest medical scandals in the history of the United States of America. I speak to you in the hope that you will have the courage to bring the scandal to an end and ensure that other vulnerable teenagers, children, and young adults don't go through what I went through. At the age of 12, I began to experience what my medical team would later diagnose as gender dysphoria. I was well into an early puberty, and I was very uncomfortable with the changes that were happening to my body. I was intimidated by male attention, and when I told my parents that I felt like a boy, in retrospect, all I meant was that I hated puberty, that I wanted this newfound sexual attention to go away, that I looked up to my brothers a little bit more than I did to my sisters. I came out as transgender in a letter I sent on the dining room table. My parents were immediately concerned. They felt like they needed to get outside help from medical professionals, but this proved to be a mistake. It immediately set our entire family down a path of ideologically motivated deceit and coercion. The gender specialist I was taken to see told my parents that I needed to be put on puberty-blocking drugs right away. They asked my parents a simple question: would you rather have a dead daughter or a living transgender son? The choice was enough for my parents to let their guard down, and in retrospect, I can't blame them. This was the moment that we all became victims of so-called gender-affirming care. I was fast-tracked onto puberty blockers and then testosterone. After surgery, my grades in school plummeted. Everything that I went through did nothing to address my underlying mental health issues that I had. And my doctors, with their theories on gender, thought that all my problems would go away as soon as I was surgically transformed into something that vaguely resembled a boy. Their theories were wrong. The drugs and surgeries changed my body, but they did not and could not change the basic reality that I am and forever will be a female. I'm doing better now, but my parents almost got the dead daughter promised to them by my doctors. My doctors had almost created the very nightmare they said they were trying to avoid. So what message do I want to bring to American teenagers and their families? I didn't need to be lied to. I needed compassion. I needed to be loved. I needed to be given therapy to help me work through my issues, not affirm to my delusion that by transforming into a boy, it would solve all my problems. We need to stop telling 12-year-olds that they were born wrong, that they are right to reject their own bodies and feel uncomfortable with their own skin. We need to stop telling children that puberty is an option, that they can choose what kind of puberty they will go through, just so they can choose what clothes to wear or what music to listen to. Puberty is a rite of passage to adulthood, not a disease to be mitigated. Today, I should be at home with my family celebrating my 19th birthday, and instead I'm making a desperate plea to my elected representatives. Learn the lessons from other medical scandals like the opioid crisis, to recognize that doctors are human too, and sometimes they are wrong. My childhood was ruined along with thousands of detransitioners that I know through our networks. This needs to stop. You alone can stop it. Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience. Please let me be your final warning. Thank you.
So it's hard to argue with somebody's personal experience like this. They went through this gender-affirming care. They went through feeling like they uncomfortable with puberty and feeling uncomfortable with their gender, which is totally normal, especially for kids going through puberty. You know, I remember when I was in 4th or 5th grade, they had us watch those movies about all the changes with your body, and basically their tagline is, it's going to be weird, but it's okay, it's normal. Like, you're going to feel weird. Your voice is going to change, your body's going to change, your hormones are going to make you attracted to the other sex. and it's just part of life. But relax, it's not the end of the world, and it's not a dramatic thing. It's just growing up. Well, we don't say that to our kids anymore. We say teachers and doctors apparently are now pushing the idea that if a kid feels uncomfortable and maybe they're depressed, maybe they have some kind of gender dysphoric ideas or gender dysphoric feelings where they don't feel comfortable with their gender, now they're pushed into this gender affirming pipeline because first of all, it's well funded and profitable for whoever's doing these procedures, of course. But the other thing is it's the moral high ground. These doctors and these teachers that are kind of guiding kids into this track are feeling good about themselves. They feel like heroes because they helped a kid transition to a different gender. And it's all part of the woke left-wing ideology that is hurting our kids so bad. It's literally just radical ideology that is working its way into society and actually having this massive effect on our children. I think it goes without saying that it's totally unacceptable, and it needs to be spoken out against. And that's why I think Chloe here is incredibly brave for talking about her experience. And there really isn't a more powerful way to combat these ideas than to sit in Congress in front of the Democrats who openly support this and preach this and promote it and tell them how it hurt her personally. Because it's easy to see that this is probably not too unique of a case. This is probably a very common case. And unfortunately, it's becoming more and more common. And I think we need alternative ways to deal with the mental health issues in America's young people, other than just saying have a double mastectomy or have your genitals removed and start taking testosterone, start taking estrogen, change your name. Like, where did we go wrong where now that's normal? And speaking out against that and saying, hey, maybe that's not the way to go is radical and crazy. You know, like, I mean, we are so far into fantasy land that it's just scary when you realize it, how normalized these things have become. So anyway, I think Chloe did a great job here. I'd love to hear what the Democrats sitting in that room, what they thought of what she said. What is their response to that? How do they tell somebody like her, no, you're wrong, you're a bigot, you need to be more tolerant and affirming of people's gender identities and all these permanent procedures that we're doing on kids are 100% good. And they don't need to be examined, they don't need to be scrutinized. No, I don't know how could they respond to that. I would love to hear what's going through their mind as they're sitting there listening to this. Probably dismissing a lot of it, probably zoning out, not even listening, because they know that if they spoke out against it, they would take a huge hit in their career as a left-wing Democrat. It's very unfortunate how politics works in D.C. But anyway, I want to hear what you guys thought of this clip. Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.